Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Bad Podcast. Today, as you can see, we have a brand new member who's joined. He looks quite familiar. His name is...
Oh,
did you tell him to do this? Did you tell him to do this?
It sounds like you're introducing us, so we don't know to say our name. This is two in a row.
This is Nas, all right? This is Nas. Obviously, you guys know Davian. So welcome to episode 2. We're supposed to be recorded last week, but due to technical difficulties, we're now here this week. So, yeah. Kicking off the podcast this week, let's get straight into the boxing from the past weekend. Let's start with the virus knockout, or virus, as some of our friends pronounce it. Yeah. It was a cool knockout.
I mean, this was Misfits 007. He fought DK Money, right?
Yeah. Donkey Kong Money.
He's famed for just taking losses on these events. But the knockout was clean.
Yeah, apparently it was a dead fight that had a good KO. I was just like, alright, let's just get this over with.
That's fair enough.
DK Money's mid. But he's fun to watch get like battered.
Was he the one that got headbutted?
Yes.
Yeah.
He fought Kenny.
And then got slapped in the face.
And then Kenny battered him, and then he's up and down.
See, at this point, you got a question: do I really want to be a boxer?
Well, the thing is, what you have to remember is, in that first fight against Ryan Taylor was slapping him up. He basically he got headbutted, and then he stayed down and was like, "I win if I stay down," and refused to get back up.
He got up and he was like, "Oh wait, hold up! I win if I stay down."
Yeah, the headbutt didn't actually connect with him, but he started acting like he had a concussion. And then
listen, all I'm saying is, if they keep on giving you a bag, why not take it, bro? Why not take it?
Right. I mean,
bag really isn't that much, because some of the undercard players were getting like 4 or 5 grand. I was like, that what in the Dana
where you are. No, it depends on where you are and what the type of card is. So on the bigger cards, obviously you want to be close to the co-main and main event. But some of these, like, to be fair, the DK monies are getting like 10K.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
can't be
for what they're doing isn't the worst.
I was gonna say, plus it's exposure for them. But all right, moving on to the next fight. My wife, Tennessee, lost to Davian's pagan woman, Paige Keiki. Nas's favorite fight of the night as well. Come on, Nas, give us a little breakdown of the fight.
Okay, so this is what happened. I went downstairs because I did not give a shit. Both these women look like they will rob me for my phone, grab my watch, and cuss me out for being a... They're both South Londoners. I'm not saying anything else.
Yeah, no, I called that a South London fight. You know, that was a...
I'm surprised it did become a TLC, to be honest.
That would have made it much better.
They just went in there and they were like, "What you say about me, fam?" And then just started swinging.
But did you see?
One walked in and realized their man's cheating on them. That's what happened.
Jesus. Did you see that girl who took Astrid Wett's belt?
Is that the one that threw water on her?
I don't know, bro. Some chick broke into her locker room, stole her belt from the event, and is saying, "Unless you fight me, you're not getting your belt back."
We can just steal shit now.
Bro, I'm telling you, and Astrid was pissed. And obviously, she spoke to Mams about it. She said, obviously, send her a message. And if she doesn't give it back, they'll get the police involved. Like, it's a legit serious issue.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, never mind.
This is what tried to do a WWE promo.
Bro, she legit got a promo.
Oh, wait, why the police there? What?
UFC that DWP, but WWE not.
Yeah, they're kind of like, what do you mean the police? This is a I thought it was an angle. They told him to promo. That's one way to promo it, I guess.
Alexia Grace, that's her fucking name. That's the chick who stole her belt, bro.
They were the ones fighting the press conference, innit?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's madness.
Astrid Wett.
Is that the one that got jabbed in the face?
Yeah, Astrid Wett. I was like, she must be really working, because even in the street fight style thing, she was still hitting them weaves. I was like, whoa.
Turn around, man. apparently, yeah, he did some damage to her face. Like, yo,
She went wee jab. I was like, whoa.
She's learning, bro. She's learning.
no, the thing
I
is
was
that more head movement in that one move than her past.
Then normal fights, yeah.
Yeah, it's mad. Usually it's rock and sock and robot style with them, man.
Pretty
But
fucking
yeah,
much.
I mean, I think that's if they make that fight and they use the beef to push things. Astrid Wett's known for faking beefs though, so
It can go either way, realistically.
literally, her beef with Al Brook started off as fake.
Fuck. Oh, God
They
damn,
they
son.
had a list of things they planned to do to each other to piss each other off,
Oh.
and then
One wore the same outfit as other, and then
no, Astrid Witt got really annoyed and leaked Al Brook's real name.
bro.
What's
Yeah.
her real name?
Brock Lesnar, son, I don't know.
Brock Lesnar.
She just baited out her govy for no reason.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's fucked. That's fucked. That's fucked.
which is why then Al Brook was like actually wanted to fight her, and then this
That's fair.
Crystal.
Isn't Elle Brooks a lot bigger though?
Yeah, that's why. Because basically the joke is Astrid Wett is way lower and she won't go up, so she's saying that the only way she'll fight Elle Brook is Elle Brook comes all the way down to her size, and Elle Brook's like, that's gonna
Yeah,
you're basically
that's
gonna
fair.
take all my power away. Her real name's Crystal with a K. Like
That I feel like that explains so
that.
much.
That you know what? I'm gonna-
I ain't saying nothing about nothing, but I'm just saying that explains so goddamn much.
Yeah, what's her real name? More.
That's don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't.
Let's move on to the next fight.
Anyway, so the next fight up, Salt Pappy, obviously he lost by decision.
Exactly
Thoughts
the
on the
way.
fight? I was streaming, so I didn't watch the fight. So.
I was on this podcast last week. I said Anthony Taylor beat Salt Pappy.
Just for the fight, you asked me what's going to happen. I said Salt Puppy isn't going to be able to knock out or do anything to Anthony Taylor. Anthony Taylor's going to make it dirty the way he did. It's only a 3-round fight, which to me is quite weird because Salt Puppy was really out of shape for a 3-round fight. I was like, yeah, that's mad. No wonder he didn't want a 5-round fight. Forget about it.
He wanted
I don't know whether
he
like he took it
more.
as seriously as he possibly could have. Maybe he saw like all the fights which he lost prior, and he was like, "Oh, this will be easy for me because I got the knockout last time."
I think really what it is that Anthony Taylor's he's an adept boxer, but he's not. So if you look at everyone who's Salt Pappy couldn't knock out Halal Ham. That went to a decision. He then knocked out someone before Josh Brook. He knocked out someone, then knocked out Josh Brook. Then knocked out. It was the guy where he like punched him in the face, and it was like sorry for your
weird one.
sorry for your recovery. And then he knocked out Josh Bruckner, who was a oversized guy who can throw punches but was easy to counter. Anthony Taylor, 3 rounds, all he had to do was hit him with some shots. Anytime Salt Pappy tried to counter him, hold him, make it really like. And then by the time, had it got to round 4, round 5, I feel like Anthony Taylor would have got more tired. Salt Pappy would have been able to pick him off, but.
Thing is, Salt Pappy didn't look like he was in good shape either. It was kind of
not really.
He was kind of gassed. He didn't
Salt
look like he
Pappy
had
made
any
the
power
choice.
in his punches. And the thing is, Anthony Taylor's doing the same thing. He'd lunge in with a quick right to the face, and Salt Pappy would get caught constantly. So it's do you think that sets a ceiling for Salt Pappy, or he's going to go back?
I think it's a misstep.
Yeah,
And what
I
it
feel like
does is it
he'll
ruins-
train harder next time to actually get the job done.
I think it helps Misfits a lot because if he'd beaten Anthony Taylor, people would be talking about him versus JJ, and they'd be like, okay, cool, well, that's a fight they want to see. Now he's lost. They can put him against, they can give him a redemption fight and let him.
Anyone fight Slim?
Slim and him are different size, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're similar weight.
No, Slim's dropping down. Slim's dropping down to
Yeah, Slim doesn't want to fight those Donnies anymore, bro. He's done.
He's tired of breaking his
He's
hands
done.
on these man's foreheads. But yeah, no,
Like
it
last
was
time
an
he was saying
average
like he was
fight.
dropping bombs and it wasn't even affecting them. So he's like,
Yeah, it was an
fuck
average fight, 3 rounds. Anthony Taylor did a good lot of work, and Salt Pappy kind of looked exactly kind of how he should be in terms of like he's not the next Manny Pacquiao. He's just a YouTube boxer who.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
And
Makes
it-
sense.
when you put him up
Not
against
shocking.
someone just as skilled, if not a bit more, you can see that there's levels. Like he looked clean because he had good hand movement, he had good foot
And the
movement.
footwork looked clean.
It's kind of like the
Mhm.
Nunez thing. It's difficult to see how good Nunez is because he looked great against that Polish Donny. But when you put him against King Kenny, someone with good movement, how great is he going to look? Because I don't think he's going to look like the professional fighter he did. for
We'll find out about that in July. Yeah, July when they do the semi-finals.
Dublin, Ireland.
What other fights were there last year?
Yeah, the Deji versus
Deji was up next. Yeah, winning by decision.
So that fight wasn't even close.
Yeah, no, that was a
blowout.
mockery.
So it was every round of that fight was the exact same. Deji was control. I'll give Deji credit. That's the best he's ever looked stamina-wise in terms of
100%.
controlling his punches, not doing too much so that like he gasses out. Like when we saw him fight like Vinny Hacker, he was trying to like end the man because he was using his power. Against Swarms, he punched him until Swarms ran into a corner. He'd keep hitting his guard. Swarms would try and swing 5 or 6 times, try and catch him. He caught him a couple times, and then
yeah. But what I like about Deji is the fact that. So did you see his coaches come out and say, "Yeah, this is Deji on like 6%. He didn't."
Yeah,
really
it was 60. So he had to drop 9 kilograms in, was it 8 weeks or 6 weeks? Around that. And they're saying they were saying that's Deji at about 60%.
Yeah,
fair enough.
So to me, I was never really into the fight because obviously I knew there was. It's like him fighting Fuzi again. It made no sense to me. You're fighting a man that's only been boxing for 6 months.
I'll be honest.
I would have preferred him fighting someone a bit higher ranked.
Maybe, but I think Deji needed that fight. I think, I'm going to be completely honest, I'm more impressed with Swarms than I thought I'd be.
100%. He showed that he's got a good jab. He's got a good jab. Good jab, and he's got in fact,
he's got resiliency too.
Yeah, exactly. He clocked Deji quite a few times. But what I like, while I didn't rate Deji's fitness, and I expected him to actually get a KO, I did like the fact that it showed a lot of IQ because at the start he'd push Swarms to the corner. I liked the fact that he was punching the guard to break the guard, and then he ducked down when you get hooked and then hit counter him. He got caught a couple of times, but then later on you saw he wasn't making that mistake again. He showed great foot movement, and he's got very good counter punching. Yeah. So it showed that levels 100%.
He showed levels, but Swarm showed that he probably has a place in this, and if he's gonna fight Pineda next.
I don't see that point. I don't see the point.
There's no point in fighting Pineda for him, man.
I think that fight's not as far away as people think it's gonna be.
I want to see.
I think that's a good fight.
I want to see B Dave and Pineda versus Swarms and Deji.
Team Chaos Part 2.
No, they were teasing it. But Swarms and Deji win that quite. I think
I don't care about
a weak link.
Yeah, for me, I don't care about B Dave and I don't care about Pineda, unless it's a tag team event.
I like the idea of that, but I generally think Pineda versus Swarms would be funny. I think the only thing that's gonna be a bit mad is because Swarms is known to kind of do diss tracks and stuff, and that man doesn't speak English, so I don't know how that trash talk's gonna work.
Vamos.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a lot of like he's gonna drop a diss track and then, but I think if you're looking at a fight for the crowd, you're looking at two people because they both fought JJ on the same night. Mm-hmm. So that story kind of writes itself in terms of they kind of write themselves in terms of like they both fought JJ on the same night. They both won on the same card, and then Swarms wins this one, and then they can come back together, and then they have that match, and whoever wins can, because obviously they need to build that kind of middle ground of Misfits.
So where does Deji go?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I kind of wanted Deji to fight Fournier. I thought that'd have been funny.
Yeah.
Like instead of a rematch, you get my younger brother, so that because I can't bother to fight you.
That's not disrespectful, but it'd be
funny. Like you just you go fight him, and if you meet him, maybe. But like I don't know, like I would have said like a Deji versus Slim or a Deji versus Salt Pappy, or you're not gonna get Deji versus Kenny.
Nah, I think Deji versus Jay Swingler before the
Swingler would
have been a good fight there.
Deji versus Gib.
Who was the guy that fought Swindler?
Nick Lamau.
Yeah, Nick Lamau versus Deji.
He could be good.
That's not a bad fight, actually. He did take problems, so it's a good fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I think you have to like, if you're Deji, you have to be careful who you take because he's in this weird spot. Like he just fought Floyd Mayweather. His money and like obviously his popularity is naturally so high because we've seen him lose a lot. So, but now he's winning. I think he wants to keep that winning thing going.
Yep.
But also he has to fight people that have good names so it doesn't look like walkovers, and it's like a balance.
Yeah, it's a weird one. All right,
Alright.
now to the main event.
I was gonna say main
What,
event.
wings-
Well, let's
wings
just
versus
start
boogie?
with the big thing.
You know what's mad about
Obviously,
the Wingers Boogie? I was upset that no one went out on the stretcher. I'm waiting for an Arms Corleone thing. I was like,
Okay,
yo,
okay, Nas. With all due respect, combining the fact that man came in at £800 combined,
no WWE thing.
They only
We didn't
fought
collapse
for-
nothing. I was
they
pissed.
only fought for 3 minutes.
No, they
with
did about a minute and a half.
No, but what I'm saying is they fought for 3 minutes, and in that 3 minutes, 40 seconds of that was taping up the man's shorts, and about 30 seconds of it was like breaks and things that had stopped. They generally had about a minute and 10 minutes. They were never going to collapse off that. They didn't do anything.
Yeah. All right. So the
But yeah,
JJ,
no, the actual main
but
event.
the JJ
KSI
fight.
versus Foreman.
Obviously, the big talking point, the controversial knockout. Thoughts, bro? Thoughts?
So it's the most London JJ's ever looked. That's what I'm saying. You know. Now I believe it's from London, not Watford. Man,
yeah,
he-
he's in an MMA gym. He's like a bang.
yeah, that's true fighters for real.
Exactly. Perfect elbow placement.
But if we're being serious, in the first round, Fournier was flat-footed and JJ pieced him up. JJ doesn't have a great jab, but he uses the fact that he can take a lot of punches quite well, and his style's weird and it doesn't look great, but it's effective.
Unorthodox to another level.
Yeah, and he tricked Fournier into. Fournier was expecting him to come out with the right hand a lot because it's what JJ does, so he didn't throw it a lot. And then when he did throw it, he caught him well. He hit him, rocked him with that right hand. He's just unlucky that when
The
he
way
rushed in
he
to finish
knocked him
it,
out.
he's unlucky with. It's one of those like rare things where it's not intentional. He's just missed. Caught him with a forearm, but everyone's calling it an elbow. But the forearm has knocked him out clean, which means that you can't really claim a win off that.
Realistically, from the way the fight was going, JJ was going to win regardless. I mean, you never
The
know.
only
You never
person
know
who
really in
does that is
boxing.
Jake Paul and Fournier.
But like,
Fournier
you know,
came out saying, "Oh, you know, I start off slow. I'm a 12-round fighter," but
never
nothing
fought
in
12
that,
rounds.
nothing in that showed that he was in the
Nas,
fight. He looked
Nas,
old. He looked slow.
Nas,
Weak.
He's never fought 12 rounds in his life.
Exactly. Yeah, fam. It was. He. To me,
He just he invented the title. That's like me saying I'm a 12-round fighter. Like,
yeah. I mean, he won a made-up title while being suspended for.
he won an international title while being suspended for taking steroids. He's not. If you take away Joe Fournier from this, who I don't. I think the main thing about it is JJ outclassed him, but we expected that. Like,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
pro,
100%.
but only in like
didn't
speech
really
marks.
show anything different. He showed that he likes to jump around a lot, but for me,
Oh, did you see the Jinky McJinky though? He was with
for me,
the square.
Cheeky, but cheeky.
for me, it's difficult because JJ looked really awkward. He still rushes in a lot like that. Like the knockout itself. It's because he rushed in and then he clipped him. He didn't throw a proper hook. He didn't measure the distance like Deji does. He just rushed in and then tries to start. He just sees red and starts swinging.
Nah, but I don't think that's fair. He caught him with a calculated right, overhand right. He did rush in, but he's rushing in to get the finish. He just got unlucky that when he threw the hook, he missed.
Yeah.
But he didn't really miss. He grazed him, so the distance would have been off by like half an inch. And all that really happened is Fournier was moving his head down to try and grapple him and get him into a clinch. It's one of those things of it's not judging the distance. It's a minute scale. It's one of them. If he got it back, he'd probably hit it. Like it would have been way harder for him to miss. If him hitting him with the forearm like that is probably something he could never redo.
Have you seen the? Did you see the Fournier turning into Pineda thing, complaining about the back of the headshots?
Swerves
Oh,
it too.
Jesus, oh, Jesus, that's not.
I think
It's a weird one because the way JJ throws hooks, he kind of like loops it over and
yeah,
around.
it's a weird. It's a
Yeah.
Always when people are moving forward. so-
JJ's attack is not pretty, but when it's actually the hand, it's very effective.
Like I said, he's
when
the Deontay Wilder.
Kind of. He's the Deontay Wilder of YouTube boxing in terms of like you look at him and you say the jab's all wrong, the
Although
footwork's all wrong, but then when they go down,
what the hell was he doing at the end of round one? That jumping from side to side. Oh, that.
the jinky, that's called Jinky McJinky.
Okay.
Listen,
okay.
we're no longer in FIFA, right? That it's just a thing from there, bro.
It's Jinky McJinky is a way of life because he could have just gone straight forward, but instead he was doing side step. That was Afghan boxing, as Nas called it. Like that is, none of it made sense, but it worked. I just think the problem with JJ is the only time we've ever seen him under actual any pressure in terms of like having to defend or be in a tough situation was the second Logan Paul fight when he got hit with the uppercut.
Yeah.
None of these fights has he ever like had to take a couple punches and we see him rocked, or see how he does when it's deep water and he has to change things. Like these guys are kind of just like JJ's got this blessing of being really powerful, so these men get hit and go raw, it's not worth the money, and then just back up, and then it means that we
great
watch him doing once. That's when he starts doing his Eddie from Tekken and start doing all that breakdancing shit, and then we. I can't lie though. When I saw the replay of the elbow, well, the forearm, JJ's press ups were funnier in hindsight with that.
Yeah. Everyone in the comments are like, "Yo,
That
someone
man,
press ups to an elbow." Okay.
yeah, that man was doing press ups and doing and then he started doing. Then he went straight to Tommy. Like he moved on. He was like,
I mean,
like,
realistically, do you
you're
think
not
that
talking
fight's actually going to happen though between the two of
yeah.
them?
No, no.
Them two
So
will
the reason why that fight's gonna happen is because Tommy Fury got paid so much from Jake Paul that
now-
in his mind he's got two fights. He
He's
can
the
fight
inside-
KSI, fight Jake Paul, and he's gonna make bags off both.
Damn straight. And that much
He's
is
never gonna be a
guaranteed.
world champion.
The thing is though, we saw in the Tommy Fury vs Jake Paul fight, Tommy's got really good fundamentals compared to these YouTube boxers. He's got good jabs. He's got a very good foot movement, placement, and decent combos. JJ, on the other hand, has very bad jab. Like he lunges in a lot. I get it's the distance that he's trying to cover, but he doesn't cut down the ring, and he kind of overreaches when he jabs. So he got clipped by old slow Fournier. So if he gets clipped by
Clipped is putting it.
no, he got clipped a couple of times. It was like a little tap.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like clipped makes it sound like he actually got.
No. But you get what I mean. Like,
Okay,
if you get, I know I get
I see your point.
fight differently to Tyson Fury.
Yeah, but I see your point. But my main count would be Anthony Taylor lasted rounds with Tommy Fury.
True.
And then look at the size of that. I would also say that when you look at the Jake Paul fight, that fight was not good in terms of what Tommy did. Tommy only beat Jake because Jake is an orthodox fighter who's trained how to work in that jab area. So when Tommy out jabbed him and was actually throwing punches, through Jake Paul couldn't get the shots off he wants. Jake is going to get those shots off he wants because he's almost so egotistical that he'll take those jabs to get inside. Tommy doesn't have good stamina. There was a reason why Jake Paul was favored as the favorite for that fight. Is because anyone who looks at Tommy realizes he doesn't have that power to knock people down that like he seemed to show earlier. Like early in his career, he was knocking people out. Later on, he's not been able to do that. We don't know if it's because he's not working hard enough or whatever. Like
I said
there
before,
are a few avenues there for JJ. And how do you train for someone like JJ? It's seemingly weird.
Like I said before, KSI versus Tommy Fury is the B-Tech version of Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. It's just
except Tommy has none of the. It's no. I'd say like it's like having. It's kind of like that, but it's more. It's not B-Tech. It's more like it's Sats. Key stage 2 Sats.
Key stage 2.
Yeah, you know them 11 plus one of them ones because it's not. It's not.
Those 11 plus books are hard, you know. I was trying to help him. He's now. I was struggling with that. You know, what the hell is this?
Because Tyson Fury has like intangibles that make him an incredible fighter. Deontay Wilder has an incredible power where he can knock you out with the jab. And then if you come down 15 to 20 levels, then that's where Tommy and KSI sit. And if Tommy gets hit, he's not getting all like the Undertaker. Like he'll just sit down and take the money.
So okay, last thing before I go, predictions. Who's gonna win and how?
What KSI Tommy?
Yeah.
KSI
decision.
points. So, no.
I think it's KSI TKO. So it's gonna be, I think, an 8-round fight probably. 6 to 8 round.
I think he only knocks him out if Tommy gives up. I think he only knocks him out if Tommy gives up.
Yeah.
100%.
I think he's more likely to gas Tommy out, and then in the last rounds, it would just be like round 6 to 8. If it's an 8-round fight, would just be KSI just trying to hit that right hand repeatedly, while Tommy Fury just stood in the corner going, "Please, man, I got the money."
I got a child.
Yeah, man's like, "Yo, I love your new cat, fam. I love your new cat. Don't hit me."
That's an ugly ass cat.
Bro, that cat is fucking disgusting, bro. I really don't like cats, but JJ's cat is fucking disgusting.
It's closest to Beerus he could find.
I know, but it's fucking disgusting.
I don't understand.
I saw the cat and I saw the cat and I was gonna send it to Nas because I was like, Nas is gonna hate this cat.
Nah, can you imagine?
Like,
Bro, they're awful.
I've got a cat asleep right now. He's on my bed asleep. That's it's a normal cat. I love cats, but that is a
nah, but I know you hate them. I know you hate them furless ones.
imagine touching that.
Yeah,
Trying to stroke it, but it's just all like flesh.
Nah,
No,
yeah,
no.
You know, I think JJ wins, and then we never get that Jake Paul fight because Jake Paul's got every excuse not to fight JJ now. Like he can use like
man that beat him.
he can use it. I won't do it under Misfits because you man are literally allowing MMA strikes. I won't do it in the UK. Your judges are rigged. I'll get paid more money to fight someone else. Like, oh, I actually want to beat Tommy Fury first. Like,
It's
JJ's gonna be 40 by the time Jake Paul finally says yes.
Oh,
Jake Paul's moving like
Forget
Mayweather.
that shit.
I've got a dip, so in a bit.
Well,
All right.
that was
Okay. Well, now that the boxing segment is done, let's quickly jump into the Champions League section here for football. City 1, Madrid 1, and Inter 2, Milan 0. Are those the results that you expected from the Champions League?
I mean, I predicted Real 2-1. I kind of thought they'd get another goal. Like I thought they'd get the 2-0 up, and then Man City would get consolation. But you know, De Bruyne scored that goal, even though the ball did go out for a throw-in apparently. But yeah, I think it's a tight game. It's one of those where it can go either way. You're playing Real Madrid in the Champions League, so it's no matter they're never out of it. Like last year, they were never out of it. They found a way. Like it was 99% chance of Man City going through, and Real were like, no. They've got the star players there as well, the Benzemas, the Vinicius Juniors. They've got players on the bench too who might just come on and, you know, do something special.
Yeah.
And especially the Etihad where it's, because there's no away goals, obviously this is just the cup final in itself. I think Real Madrid are going to beat them. I think.
I mean, Real Madrid will always be that club that you can't deny that can come back from anything, bro. Like,
yeah, like, now, it could be, if it was 2-0, I'll tell you now, if United were 2-0 up against Real Madrid in the 90th minute of a semi-final in the Champions League, I would still be looking away from the screen, not being able to watch it because I'd be too scared. Like, I'd be like, oh, if they get one back and then there's 5 minutes left, oh no, it's horrible.
Yeah, no,
Like,
bro. Listen, I feel like, especially like, listen to those who have experience. I feel like Liverpool fans who got ruined by Man City when you thought you were going to win, they told the Arsenal fans. Atletico Madrid fans will tell City fans, bro, you could be winning 3-1. Don't think you've won the game, bro. Because it'll be 90 plus 8, and they'll fucking score 4.
That, yeah. I was going to say, the greatest moment of, like, don't ever doubt Real Madrid is the Sergio Ramos goal against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League.
Goosebumps.
Where you just think it's one of them where you're like, it's a corner, but, like, surely that's it. Like,
exactly.
Corner gone. And then Ramos rises, headers it, and you're like, of course they scored. Like, why wouldn't I let them score? I think you look at the Real Madrid midfield. You're looking at Camavinga, Modric, Kroos. Then man know that Bellingham's coming in as well. So this is the last time we're really going to see, like, you know, probably one of Modric or Kroos. It's probably going to be Modric that moves over more because...
Yeah, I was going to say.
Aging. Like, they have a team, especially with Tchouaméni as well, like, they can attack Man City with a lot of energy. They can kind of do what Brentford did. If they get an early goal, it's going to be fucked because
their
men are going to drop so far deep and just stop. They're going to just attack De Bruyne and make sure he doesn't get the ball. And with this Man City team, if you could stop Gundogan, De Bruyne, and Haaland, then
I feel like even if you stop that, you still have problems with fucking Grealish and Foden as well. Like it's a machine. City's
it's a machine, and they do like to think. But like the thing about De Bruyne is he's like a master key that can undo any lock. And if you can stop him getting the ball, you can stop him unlocking your defense. You stop Gundogan getting the ball, he scores a lot of important goals from just being the extra man in the box. And then obviously, if you can stop the ball getting to Haaland, that's your best chance of stopping him because once he's got the ball, that's when you've got issues.
Damn.
And then you'd force them to go more wide and use like the Grealishes, Foden, Silvers, where I think while they're all great players, I think you're way more likely to stop a Grealish than you are to stop a De Bruyne.
That's very true.
Especially if you're Real Madrid when you've got Camavinga, Modric, and if you can win the ball earlier and get it forward, then you basically, if you're Real Madrid, you just want to give Benzema 2 or 3 chances to win you the game.
I was gonna say if you give Benzema at least 2 or 3, three on a good day, then exactly you'll definitely get a goal there somewhere.
Yeah, you're getting a goal, and if you can get the goal, and then you can win the game. And I think that's what they've got nothing else to fight for. This is all they care about. Man City have won the Premier League, all without
all but one. It's done.
I mean, I've been saying this for time. Like I knew it was. I was hoping that Arsenal would keep it going just past Real Madrid, but then they went and fucked it. So.
Well, the other game, obviously, Inter beating Milan 2-0. Obviously, I didn't watch the game. I only saw the highlights on YouTube. Uploaded to BT Sport, but the game looked good. Obviously, 2 early goals in the beginning. Sets up Milan for a tough comeback. Obviously, in the second leg this week.
I don't know if it's gonna be that tough. I think so. Actually, it depends on if Rafael Leao comes back in time. Then I don't think it's gonna be tough. If he's still out, then maybe.
Yeah, they might struggle a bit.
All right, so he was back in training on Saturday. So,
okay, that's better.
And Rafael Leao is their key player. I think maybe the top scorer for them in that. I think it's
I wouldn't be surprised.
But also the main thing is he's a quick, pacey winger. I think in that game it was end to end consistently. It's just that Inter capitalized on 2 mistakes. If you're Inter, 2-0 is a really dangerous scoreline when you've got 90 minutes.
That's very true.
You don't want to defend too much and let them attack you, because if they get a goal and they get that momentum, because it's home versus home, even whatever happens. If they get momentum, then it could easily be 2-3-0.
That's very true.
But it's one of them where that game is probably. I feel like Real Madrid, Man City is going to be the game that's like everything in it's going to be almost perfect, and it will be a big moment that wins it.
Yeah.
AC Milan Inter, that just feels like a dogfight. It's like one of them where it's 2 underdogs fighting, because they know that whoever wins is going to be the underdog in the Champions League final.
Straight facts.
So, if I'm put it like this, if I bet in, I'd bet AC because it's the longer odd, but it's one of them weird things that I think could happen.
Fair enough. Well, I think obviously for the first game, I think Madrid will probably come out on top there. And in a perfect world, I want Milan to win too. You know, I just want Milan to win.
Oh, you want Milan to win in Milan versus Milan?
No, I want Milan to beat Inter, bro. You know, listen, you know what I mean, all right? But also, loophole, yes, I want Milan to win. A quick Premier League roundup. We'll just mention the key games here. Obviously, City beat Everton 3-0. The fucking robot scores again. Gundogan fucking being a beast, scoring fucking 2 amazing goals.
He scores so many goals, like just in the end. Like last season, he won them the title.
But
like he just scores so many goals from like. He's kind of jarring, you know.
He's consistently good, but it's ridiculous.
Nah, but he does some things well, and then sometimes he just like scores a hat trick, and you're like, "Who's this Donny?"
He just comes out of the shadows, bro. Obviously, Arsenal got their asses whooped by Brighton 3-0. A beautiful result, you know. Don't get I support United, bro, but listen, City winning much better than Arsenal winning.
No. It's time to have the conversation, okay?
What conversation? There is none, bro. It's better for City to win than for Arsenal to win.
Here's my conversation. Arsenal fans are telling me they didn't bottle the league because City is so good that, like, who could have stopped them? They were 10 points clear.
Brother, you man were not saying that when you were 10 points clear. You guys were confident in your squad.
They made shirts at Christmas that said we're winning the league.
They had no qualms at the time. Now they be bitching about it. Nah.
At the start of April, they were 10 points clear. Or like it was 9-10 points clear, and they knew City had games in hand, but they knew what the plan was. You win every game you can until you get to City, and even if you lose at City and you win the rest of your games, you're the champions. They then drew 2-2 to fucking Liverpool. No, so they should have lost to Villa, and they had they should have drawn with Villa and had a 95th minute goal. They hit the crossbar and then hit the keeper, and it went in as an own goal. And they were like, "We've won the league. This is what makes champions." Bro. Then they drew 2-2 with
Liverpool. They drew with Liverpool.
They drew 2-2 with Liverpool at Anfield when they went 2-0 up.
Which is fair though, because Liverpool's Liverpool. I'd give that.
But Salah missed the penalty.
Yep.
And it could have been 3-2, but what happened there is what they did there is they said, because all season they lost in the FA Cup. They said, well, they lost in the League Cup. They said doesn't matter, less cups to be in. They lost in the FA Cup, doesn't matter. Bigger fish to fry. We can be in the we've got Europa League and Premier League left. Lost in the Europa League on penalties. They were like, doesn't matter. We've got the Premier League to focus on. One game a week, it's fine. And then now when they drew 2-2 with Liverpool, they said a point at Anfield. It's a decent, if you take away the 2-0, it's a decent thing to get a point at Anfield. That's fair. Then the next week they drew 2-2 with West Ham.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were leading in that. Were they leading in that game? Or were they losing in that game?
They were.
Ain't no way they let West Ham catch up.
West Ham were one. It was 1-0, and then they equalized. And then they had a penalty, and then there was a whole thing. And then
Saka missed this. Saka missed this penalty.
And then it was 2-2, and then that was like okay. They were like, well, bad game, but if we win every game, we're fine. And then they went into the game with Southampton, conceded in the first minute, equalised, let Southampton score 2 goals. Then they scored 2 goals again in like the 89th and 90-something minute and said, but we showed fight. All we have to do is beat Man City.
That is such a bad mentality to have for that.
Then they were like, it's obviously, I understand that you're a shameless fan and you want to win. Your team is overachieving. So you're like, you don't see the signs from like 6 months ago when you guys were, conceding goals and letting goals in, and then now it's April and it's more tense and teams have to win games to stay up, so they're not they're not just rolling over anymore. And then you go into the Man City game where all you have to do is win, and it's like that's what you're gonna win for the title. And look what Man City did to them. It was like 4-1.
Bro, I feel like
Haaland took his hair out and took the hairband off.
Brother, that will go down in history as one of the most legendary moments in football. Down his head.
Man let his hair out and then scored the record equaling goal. And then they've gone here. They beat Newcastle at St James's Park.
Mm-hmm.
Big game. You're like, maybe they can just keep putting the pressure on and open Man City slip up. And then this game, they just threw it away.
It just went down the fucking
drain. Brighton did to Arsenal what most Arsenal do to most teams. Outpassed them, outplayed them. Pressure.
I was gonna say Brighton play like they don't give a fuck, and that is. I feel like that's what's also dangerous about even the teams which are like in the middle. They're like, we have nothing to work. We have nothing to fight for. Like we're safe.
The thing about Brighton,
we're just gonna fucking enjoy the football.
The thing about Brighton aren't in the middle. They're essentially in the middle. They've got 2 games in hand. If they win their 2 games in hand, they go above Liverpool. They're 5th.
Bullshit.
If they win, that's insane. I swear to God.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, check the table.
How do they have 2 games in hand?
Yeah, they've got 2 games in hand over everyone because all of their games got like pushed back and shit. And like, so if they win their 2 games in hand, they are 2 points behind Newcastle and Man United. With they've got 1 game in hand now.
Okay.
Because they lost 5-1 to Everton.
Jesus Christ.
So they lost 5-1 to Everton and then beat Arsenal 3-0. That's the point of that team.
Do you know what's funny? Today, I saw a TikTok of one of the guys from Arsenal Fan TV saying, Man United, this is how you beat Brighton, obviously, because Brighton lost 5-1. And then Arsenal, it comes, karma is a real thing. So not always, but sometimes karma is a real thing. Because you man got whooped up as well. So.
Yeah, one man called United fans United bottlers. Obviously, when we lost the 1-0 game against Brighton with the last minute penalty.
Yeah. Life comes at you quick, bro.
And then, I just don't know, like that Arsenal team, like that Brighton team are too up and down because you could lose 5-1 and win 3-0, and it's like. But they are on track for Europe. Tottenham have fallen all the way down because they can't get a win. I think they've won 1 in 5.
Yeah.
Villa just beat Tottenham, so then they are like 1 win away from being in Europe.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like all the other I guess not that they don't matter, but they're kind of like meh. I mean, Chelsea drawing 2-2 with Forest. That's good for Forest, getting a point for them. Yeah. That's good for Forest. United. I was gonna say United picking up a 2-0 win. Obviously, great.
De Gea's guaranteed a Golden Glove.
Golden Glove, which is a vibe.
The only way he doesn't get it by himself is if Newcastle keep 3 clean sheets or Liverpool do. And
Yeah,
he doesn't keep
that
another
ain't.
one.
I would say that ain't.
He's got a guaranteed joint Golden Glove, which also United have the second best home form in terms of goals conceded in Europe.
I was gonna say we just need to work on our away game, and then we'll be much fucking better.
So I actually worked it out. There's a reason why United is so bad away. It's a mixture of the fact that our midfield isn't. We don't create enough clear-cut chances to score away. And teams are more solid, and obviously they've got the support. It's easier. It is also the fact that our goalkeeping to defend the situation is an issue. When we play away from home and we keep the ball and we do side pass United, we play the ball back to the keeper, and then every team tries to press us because they know De Gea isn't the most comfortable on his feet. So what we do is whoever we play press us, we kick the ball long, and if we don't win it in midfield, we just consistently leak chances. And then eventually,
it's just a cycle. Eventually, you're gonna concede a fucking goal.
Yeah, you basically keep letting them in, and then eventually we can see the goal. Whereas Old Trafford, we seem to play more controlled, and we hold the ball better, and then teams De Gea didn't make a save against Wolves. He made 0 saves, didn't have to. The Wolves keeper made about 4 or 5, but
question for you.
Okay.
Before we end the football section here, I was watching one of the other football podcasts on YouTube. They got to overrated versus underrated. Ten Hag, do you think he's overrated or underrated? And then I'll tell you the opinions which they had on the other podcast as well.
Yeah,
for this season.
He's 100% underrated, but I guarantee that everyone's gonna say overrated because they're gonna say that what has he actually done? They're gonna say what has he actually done? They should have been. What I'll say is, personally for me, look at the squad that Ten Hag had, and then people are gonna talk about the fact that we spent money and bought Anthony for 80 million because we've been overcharged on players because it happens when United do transfers. But,
yeah.
You look at the squad we had. Every prediction this season had us in 6th or 7th because it's a rebuilding year. Your first year of rebuilding is never meant to go well. You're never meant to. You fall off because you've got to get rid of players like Harry Maguire or work out who's actually going to be a wing back and change your keeper or get rid of McFred. I'd say the problem Ten Hag has is that we've had some disastrous losses, like 7-0, 6-3. But we've won the first cup in however many years.
Since
back
Mourinho.
to another final. Yeah, so the first one since the Europa League. Back to another final against Man City. The main objective would have been top 4, which we're on track to get.
Yeah.
Then you look at the fact that he's come in and he's implemented he brought Rashford back to form in terms of giving him confidence. He's really managed to balance the young players like Garnacho. We've had a lot of injuries this year to the point he managed to convert Luke Shaw to a left centre back over playing Maguire when last year Maguire was playing every game. It's one of them where
bless.
I think I don't think he's if you were grading him, it's not an A+ season.
Nah, it's a B. It's a B.
It's B-. It's B-.
Yeah.
Barely passing would have been, if there was no Carabao Cup, it's a C. You're just barely passing.
If he say for example, if there was no Carabao and if he doesn't win obviously the FA Cup final as well, then it's a solid C of a season. Even if we finish 4th, it's a C.
Top four and no cups is a solid C.
It's a solid C.
One cup and a top 4 is a B-. And if you beat Man City in the cup final and we get top 4, you go B+.
It's a B+. That's a B+.
For a couple of days, I'm gonna say it's an A. For a couple of days, I'm gonna say it's an A grade because I'm gonna be so hyped. But then when I calm down, the grade will come down a bit.
It'll come down with it.
But
all right.
I know what people are like. They look at Anthony and they complain about Sancho, and then it's just easy to mock United. I'd do the same thing if I wasn't a fan.
Fair play.
It'd be so easy.
Well, Chief, that is the end of the football section there. We're going to dip into a small segment here for basketball with John Morant caught with a gun on Instagram Live whilst turning up with his boys. After the last time it happened, the first time when it happened though, I didn't know this happened because I didn't know who the fuck this motherfucker was. And then obviously I did a little bit more research when I found out who this guy was. In a strip club with on his own IG Live with a gun. What?
So, T, remember last week when me and Chris were talking about Dylan Brooks and he basically insulted LeBron James?
Yeah.
This is his teammate.
Oh, nigga.
So, Memphis Grizzlies, John Morant is one of the stars of the league. I'd say that when you're looking at someone like LeBron, when people are looking at someone to take over from LeBron, KD, Steph Curry, you know the names that are marketable and everyone knows.
Yep.
They're looking at John Morant because he's an explosive player who does incredible dunks. A couple months ago, yes, he did get caught in a strip club waving the gun around. It came out. Oh, so wait, you know the strip club and the new one? You don't know that, do you?
Yeah, no, because I just looked into it, obviously, but I'm just like, bro.
I'm gonna tell you the story, and it's gonna be good to get your instant reactions to this. So obviously, John Morant got caught in a strip club, and was told about toting the gun around. He goes against all NBA policies. You represent the league, so he got suspended for a few weeks. They thought the punishment was too light, but it was, they were kind of trying to deal with it, and they wanted him back for playoffs, if I'm being honest. Mm-hmm. Now he's been knocked out by the Lakers. That was 3 weeks ago. He was on an IG Live swinging his gun around, and he's known to gritty and kind of talk about that hood life. And people joke that most people try and get out of the hood. He's trying to get out of the NBA. That's literally he's known for saying an NBA young boyfriend when he runs around saying it's a parade inside his city and it's a whole thing. But the original John Morant story that happened this season, and okay, I need to find which team it is. But while I'm looking at that, they had a basketball game.
Okay.
They got into an argument during an NBA basketball game with professional basketball players. I can't clarify enough. This is a league game.
Okay.
The NBA got a report from a team that blacked out car, followed the team bus and put red dots on the bus. Now, this is supposedly meant to be, and then it came out that was John Morant's guys. They don't know if John Morant was in the car, but they were aiming a gun at the bus to, I guess, intimidate or say,
what the fuck is wrong with you? When I saw, obviously, Stephen A. Smith as well, because I looked at his obviously reaction to the story as well when it broke and stuff. Obviously, man is disappointed because he was excited for him, and he was saying that obviously like what you were saying, that man's trying to get back into the hood. He's like, he had the support. He has the support if he wants it. He went to therapy and stuff for it because obviously they were trying to dissect if there was something deeper going on. But you can't help someone if all they're gonna do is still surround themselves with trash people like that, bro.
The problem is, so have you seen the IG Live?
Yeah.
Even the people he's with were trying to divert the camera from him. At one point, the guy puts the camera down because he's trying to, The problem, John Morant has every single piece of, if you're building a basketball player, he has every attribute that you think you'd want on one. He can shoot, he can dunk, and when I say he's got athleticism, he is he's a 6 foot, he's a 6'6" guard, he is dunking over his highlight plays are incredible. He's everything you want, but he doesn't know how to be the role model that comes with what he needs to do.
With the actual background, yeah.
Okay, it's not illegal to have a gun. He's in America. But the way he's parading and showing the gun around, it's not. When it happened the first time, people said, we're giving the benefit of the doubt. Then it happened the second time, and they suspended him. Then it happened the third time, and it's the first time they banned his family, they banned some of his family or people from attending any of the NBA. The second time they banned him for a few weeks. This time,
like now they're
suspended now.
saying like 20 to 25 weeks.
When do you,
20 to 25 games. Sorry.
Yeah, when do you get the? And the thing is, if he's suspended for 20 to 25 games, he can't be traded because no one's going to trade for him.
Nope.
His
Sponsorships are going to fucking leave,
his
bro.
team rely on him. He has a signature shoe that people are now saying they're not going to buy.
Yeah. People are like, Nike has to drop him.
Nike or whoever. I can't remember whose signature he's with, but now they're looking at people, they're going to be like, oh, do we cut ties with him? He's fucking up his own money.
Facts.
To portray a... You can be hood affiliated. You just have to be affiliated with it, but not doing it.
I was gonna say, don't get obviously like I think there was an ex-player who was talking to Stephen A. Smith at the time as well. He was like, I was happy that obviously in my time, obviously I was fucking around, not on the same scale. He was like, obviously like he probably didn't want to bait himself out like that, but it was like thankfully at my time there was just not social media the way it is now. But you cannot be at his level of fame and be putting yourself out like that, bro. Because, say for example, if he got caught, like Stephen A. Smith also said, like if he got caught by like a TMZ or like a paparazzi guy just hiding in a bush or whatever, then obviously there's like, okay, like obviously you got caught doing that, whatever. But if you're doing it to yourself, then at what point do you like consider like what else is going on here, bro? Because you're fucking up your own back. You didn't get caught by someone else. It wasn't like a creepy paparazzi dude hiding in a bush who caught you off guard. You're doing it to yourself. It's kind of sad when you actually.
And the thing about it is, it goes deeper than that because like only so many people make it to the NBA. It's actually one of the it's like 300 people that can make it to the NBA. It's only time to go on the roster, and when you're a black guy in America and you get these media narratives, it's very hard to shake these media narratives off of you.
Oh, damn straight.
And when you get looked at as they're going to look at him in a certain way, and he's never going to be able to shake that off him.
Nope.
And that means that no matter, even if he moves on and he tries to, he's still going to be known as, oh, you're just a thug, you're just this. And it's going to affect them future endorsements and how marketable he can be. You look at these things like Disney. Disney aren't going to touch someone like John Morant because they're going to be
hell no.
Because they look at the priors and other teams are going to look around and go, do we want to sign a guy? Because he's the star of that team. He's the best player. And if you don't play 20 to 25 games of a basketball season,
I was gonna say then you're just not worth it. You're just not worth it. That's a third of the season.
And let's say without him now, like they go like what 11 out of 14. Now he comes back. He's not going to play for 25 games. He's going to need 10, 15 games to get back to where he was, and then
if he fucks up again, it just gets deeper and deeper.
And also, your teammates trust you less because now, when they needed you, what were you doing? You were doing that shit.
Yeah.
And now, like, it's just one of them. It turns his ceiling from being, like, the face of the NBA to, just hope he gets his shit together.
To be fair, it reminds me of that thingy, that show Ballers, what's called with The Rock from, like, a while back. Gives me that same energy of, like, one of those dudes from there who used to fuck up all the time. Outside of the sport, but in the sport he was great, and then eventually it just catches up to you that if you don't get your shit together, they just drop you because like at some point your talent just isn't worth it, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like you don't have to be squeaky clean, but you do have to have
some
form of like sense to think, look, that's not what I want to be seen doing, and and when they talk about NBA, like they're going to be thinking about what would kids think if they see this, and then it's instantly like nope.
A bigger problem.
Okay. Yeah, and it's just frustrating because man does it consistently. It's like 4 times in 1 year.
Well, fingers crossed that he eventually gets his shit together. Well, I think that wraps it up for the sports section for today. One influencer tidbit that we can quickly discuss here. Mr. Beast buying an entire neighborhood for his employees. Obviously, no one's like, there's no obligation, like, you must stay in this neighborhood. But obviously, he bought it and said free houses for everyone who wants to live there. I I personally don't really. I mean, don't like the initial thing of like I don't know a guy buying buying a neighborhood and like you'd be living with like all your employees like well coworkers rather around you. That to me would be like a little bit weird, but at the same time I think about it when I'm in my own house. I don't give a fuck what anyone else is doing. Like, so I'm like, it's fine. Listen, you get a free house. Why are you complaining?
I think, okay, the way in my mind, it's like, I can see it in two ways. The good in me sees it as if he pays off my house and I work for him, it means that, well, I don't have to worry about bills in terms of that. I can worry about, you know, it means I can put more, I can be less stressed about my work because I don't have to worry about where I'm living because I know I'm sorted. I know that, like, and that's, and also when you think about it, really, most of the people he employs are people, he's pretty close with. It's not like a normal job role where it's like a CEO. It's mostly his friends and, employees who work for him. And if in this time of like housing thing, it's probably just a nice way. And I'm sure that as long as no one's forced to live there, then you're like, okay, like it's just a good thing to have if it's a community of people who, like minded, and as long as you have your privacy, it's fine.
I was gonna say, especially if there's like you said, there's no strings attached as well.
Yeah,
that helps the
I
situation.
also see the idea that like it's a little weird and it's like kind of it gives cultish. Like
a little bit.
Now, if I want to leave my job, I have to leave my house.
I was gonna say, like, if you do, like, he says no strings attached, but realistically, say for example, here's the keys to your house. Cool, I quit. Brother, you know, like in the contract that you're signing, somewhere in there, it'll say, obviously, if you do quit or whatever,
okay,
goodbye. So, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense for those people to still live there.
If I took it away from Mr. Beast and just thought about it, like, right, imagine being an owner of a company or whatever, and I'm working for you, and now you're like, yo, I need you to work Saturday evening. I'm like, I can't, I gotta do something, and that idea that you can throw back, I own your house.
Yeah, that is.
What could you have to do?
Because, brother,
like, that level of like, I'm sure that that's not a case with Mr. Beast. I'm sure that seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah, but you always hope that, but then like the celebrities disappoint time and time
and maybe
time
the thing
again.
Is, maybe it's just the guy who is, a nice person who's just doing like he's doing like idealistic things that wouldn't ever exist, but in his mind is like, why not? Because he's got more money than sense, and that could be cool. I just think in other situations, I'm looking at that and going, yeah, there are some like kind of like now I need you because you own my house. You're also my landlord. Like, okay, now I feel weird if I ask you like if I ask you for a pay rise and you're like, what for? I own your house, and like you don't pay rent. Like,
it turns a bit sketch at that point. It definitely,
a little bit like
definitely turns a bit
like,
sketch.
It's an attachment to the job that like is a little much for me. Like, it's a bit like now I work in this community, I live in this community. Like, I was late, there was traffic. Nah, I own the community. I know where you are. Like, shit, my bad. Like,
I feel
I don't get along with one of my colleagues. Let me go home. Oh wait, now they're my neighbor and next to me. God damn it! Like, why were you hoovering at 10 a.m. man? We know we don't start till 12. Like, there are little things there that just
which could.
If I see you at work and then in my neighborhood and then my manager also owns my house, like.
It turns into a problem. It turns
into my home life and my work life are combined, which makes sense for a YouTuber because I guess you don't really like most of the times your thing is combined.
Yeah,
I just think it wouldn't work on it wouldn't work if the government were like, yeah, you can get a job at Ministry of Justice, but you have to live here in these flats. I'm like,
nah, brother, no.
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Mashallah.
All right. Well, that is the influencer section done there. The next section should have been Joe's poems, but Joe has not submitted a poem for this week. So hopefully next week you guys will get a poem. However, we are now going to dip into the final section for today, which is the wonderful Quora questions. Davian's favorite segment of the show here. Now, if you bear with me for a second. Okay, so this week, obviously I've taken questions, but I've also got questions from before, which have also got answers, so we can dissect them a little bit better. Okay, so the first question, as usual, we're gonna start off a little bit light. Okay, question number 1 from Quora. I often feel that my girlfriend isn't attractive enough. What should I do?
I heard the start of that question and thought you were in a different way.
No, but in my head, I'm just like, he's like, the dealer chick are like, what should I do? Like, you're speaking as if you're going to, like, take them for plastic surgery, bro, or some shit. Like, why would you say that about your partner? And why are you with them if you don't find them attractive? There's so many, like...
That question and answer is very simple to me.
Mm.
If you're not attracted to your partner, what the fuck you do with your partner?
That's,
like,
it don't make sense to me. It genuinely doesn't fucking make sense to me.
But we're gonna do, like, and also like, that's to me that's what madness is for. Like, if you should be so attracted to your partner that, like, you know, you're just like, damn, I'm so lucky. Every day I wake up, you know.
You're looking at them like you are the one.
Yeah, you should just be like looking over to the side, like, damn.
Like, you may annoy the shit out of me, but you're cute.
Yeah, like, you're irritating, you know, you do A, B, and C, you may nag me a lot, but, you know, you look over, you're like, that. You should be able to be like, oh, let's go on a date night, and they dress up, and you're like, wow, it's me. I'm not on Quora going, I'm just don't find her attractive, like.
Bro, and also...
I'm assuming that's a guy talking, right?
Bro, I don't know. They didn't put their gender there.
The reason I say that is because I feel like that's more of a guy thing to literally be like, "Oh, a girl likes me. I'll be in a relationship with her because I don't want to be alone. Nah, I can't have the streets knowing I don't have a woman. And then now you're looking at her after about 2 months and going, I don't even like her like that.
Like, what am I actually doing here? You know. I will say there is one replied comment here.
Oh God.
It says, as a man, right, make her attractive. You should take the responsibilities of making your girlfriend look attractive, buy her nice clothes, take her to the salon, give her peace of mind, and satisfy her in bed, and everything else will make her attractive. How many red flags did you hear in the sentence? It's all fucked. It's all fucked.
12 red flags.
It's
13.
Fucked.
That's not 13th reason why, blood. Oh my God.
Brother, it's all fucked. It's all fucked.
Also, I like the idea that in that, I think I heard that comment say, have good sex with your partner and they'll be more attractive.
Yeah,
now I'll tell you right now, that would not work.
I don't know, bro.
If anything, your personal clarity will make you
realize
it more.
Yeah.
You'll be like, damn, that was great, but like, also, you can't just be good at sex. Like, pleasure her, like,
bro. It's a practice.
No, what I mean is, it's not a thing you like. It's not a thing you do. Like, I can better at throwing a javelin.
Mm-hmm.
It would be better at, you know, listening to your partner, understanding what they want more. It's a duo activity more than a.
I was gonna say, but you gotta be in tune with the person as well. But like,
it's not like playing FIFA where you're like, if you just keep practicing, then they'll be. This one's like, just keep hitting it, and then she'll become more.
I don't know, man.
I honestly, you know when women say men are trash.
This.
I believe them. I believe them. Yeah, it's things like this. It's because like. It's because in about 3 months when this, or I'm assuming this is like purely from the verbiage used. Like, it just, and actually even if it's the same thing, it's in about 2 months, or when you get in an argument, I guarantee it's gonna be thrown back in someone's face and be like, you know what, I don't find you that attractive anyway, and now that person's gonna have insecurities for like the rest of their life, never trust anyone, and now they're just gonna be like, oh, I don't like what? Why?
It's pathetic, man. And like, every comment other than that fucking idiot is like, just break up with her if you don't find her attractive. The last thing she needs is for some guy to be judging her because obviously he doesn't find her attractive. Let her go so she can find someone else who thinks she's actually beautiful. Don't keep her because you're fucking, I don't know, deluded in your mind that, I can make it better. Like, no. If you think you can find better, Go find better.
I I didn't think I'd ever say this.
Mm.
That one's worse than the she didn't get permission, so I cheated. That one's worse.
It's actually fucked.
This one's worse because to sit there and mentally break it down, you've had to be thinking it for a while. Like you're just looking at your partner like
exactly. You know for a fact they're looking at him in a certain way, which is like
not only then at some point you were like, at no point in your brain did you go, well, I'm not attracted to you anymore. I think we should break up. You went, I'm gonna sit on this for a bit. Okay, cool. Let me
type
go on
into
the
Quora.
some strangers what they think because they're gonna give me like what they get or like what was the aim? Was it to get confirmation to break up with someone, or was it ways to make my partner more attractive? Because if that's what they were looking for on the internet, that is bugged.
It is fucked. But yeah, that's question number 1 for you.
Oh, we got more. Okay.
That's question number 1.
You said we were starting off light.
Yeah,
that breakdown.
Listen, brother. Hey, that was light. Next question here from Quora. A guy I'm dating invites me to a trip because of work, and I couldn't go. Later on, he decided to go on the trip with another woman. He ended up sending me a picture of her in her bathing suit. He said it was to test me. Should I continue dating him? How many red flags?
Wait. Read it again.
A guy I am dating, so she's dating this man, right? Invites me to a trip.
I need to work out what dating classifies as.
They're not boyfriend or girlfriend. I think that obviously, say for example, you've been on like, they said dating. I would say at least like 3 dates. You know, I would say that constitutes as like dating. You've seen them at least 3 times. So she's been dating this guy, he invites her to like a work trip, but she couldn't go because of work. No, he invites her to a normal trip, but she couldn't go because of work. Later on, he decided to go to the trip with another woman and ended up sending her a photo of her in a bathing suit and said it was to test her. Should I continue dating him?
Oh. No. There you go. Cool. Sorry, not good content, but no. There you go. Next question.
The reply is like, there's a reply here that you're gonna love. He's testing you to ascertain the level of mistreatment you'll tolerate, and a play straight out of the narcissist playbook. Tell him he failed your test, bro.
Okay. I thought they were going down one of them tape guy. Oh. Okay.
No. But the way it starts off is there's someone here is like, "Are you nuts?" Just obvious common sense. Leave, bro. Holy shit. Yeah, Quora is quarring. Quora is quarring. Okay, this is
with that though. Wait, I just want to with that like. Let's say it's you. Imagine, I'm trying to deep it in my head. Imagine a girl did something to you. Let's say sent her friend to like message you or something, and then she's like, "That's a test." Do you immediately cut it off?
Oh, brother, I've had girls who've done that to me before, and yeah, you are blocked. You're gone. There's no point in communicating with me after the fact. It's like if bro, this actually drives me. It's like when say for example, the girls are like friends or flatmates or whatever. I don't know that information, and obviously I did something with their friend, and then I matched their friend, the new girl now. And I'm talking to her, getting to her, and then at some point she's like, "Do you remember this person?" And then she tries to speak to me about that person. It's like, no, it's not a test or whatever the fuck you think it is in your head. It's just a straight block. Like, for you to have that mental capacity to be like, oh, I got him now, or I'm going to catch him. Like, no. If you don't want to be in that situation, just leave, bro. Like, I don't get it. I don't fucking get it.
For me, I feel like I'm at the age where I feel too grown to be dealing with another woman and being told it was a test.
Yeah, no. Imagine if a girl said you're full of another dude, like, bro. Oh, hell no.
It's like the thing is, so what was that test designed to do? Because what, like,
Ascertain the amount of
but like,
fucking bullshit she'll take, bro. Like
is it
clearly.
like, oh, but is it like, in his mind, is he like, oh, I just want her to accept that I'm with other women and, in bikinis, that's my life, or basically that's my lifestyle? Or is it like, I want her to get mad and upset and jealous about the fact I'm with another woman? Because both sides of those are insane.
I don't know. The guy, number one, the guy she's talking to is obviously a dickhead. But then
100%.
again, that just might be her type. Some
I have a
people
feeling
like toxic
that guy,
relationships. So
yeah, that guy probably has a decent job, so he probably gets a bit of money. So when he's
yeah,
doing his work trips, that's how he wins women over. He's like, oh, come on the work trip, and they'll little 4-star thing, and that's how he woos them with the things that are happening. So when she didn't go, he's like, damn, I wanted to know. No, I don't care your
this could
reason.
have
I
been
want you to know
you.
you're replaceable.
Damn.
I took someone else's instead of you. Here's a photo. Get mad. Know your place.
And I guarantee you, she stayed with him. I don't know. Obviously, the result of the situation. She obviously hasn't updated it yet. It was from a few days ago. But I'm telling you right now, she probably just fucking.
Do you want to know how this? Do you want to know how this woman's crazy? Because she had to put it on Quora, because that would have been, for most people should have been an instant block and a
If you're
story.
typing that whole thing out, you just know. But okay, I would say this shall be possibly the final question for today. All right, the final core question for today. Okay. What do you think of a man who let me pay for a second date? He asked me out on both dates and chose the restaurant both times. He also knew I made way less money than he did. Thoughts? and I want to preface this as well, that the question, which was genuinely just below that on the same fucking dating page, is it just me as a woman, or is it difficult to find a good man because they feel less independent, because us women are starting to feel more independent in ourselves and being able to take care of ourselves? Now, thoughts? Two conflicting questions, but yeah.
Okay. The first question first. It's weird. I don't know, like, I get the dynamic of, okay, if that person asked you on the plan and picked the plan, then, maybe, especially if you're being asked on a date, you can make the assumption that, you're thinking they're going to pay. But, like, even firstly, knowing how much someone makes on the second date is crazy.
That's. I think she probably is like stating the fact that obviously he has a good job, and she probably told him that obviously she has obviously a job which makes a lot less money than he does. So it's probably that kind of dynamic there.
I'm trying to look at it as me, because I guess normally if I'm like dating and I pay for the first one, normally you want them to plan and organize the second one, so it's even. But
yeah, I was gonna say, like, if usually for a first date for like me or whatever, like even if it's just like hanging out and we get takeaway or whatever, I'll pay for it, because like first date I don't like it is what it is. I understand, I'll pay for it, cool. But second date onwards, if you go to like, I'm guessing they probably did like a restaurant or something, because if she's just saying let me pay for the second, I'm guessing it's like a restaurant or something.
Nah, because it's restaurant.
So I'm just saying that. Oh yeah, so yeah, sure, it's a restaurant. But I'm just saying, like, if you went to like a second date or whatever, and it's like a bar, like at that point, we're taking turns buying rounds. I am not buying all 5 rounds for the date, because you're out of your goddamn mind. That ain't happening.
I think if you take a woman on or actually whoever asks, I guess, but like most likely if you're taking a woman on a date and it's to a restaurant, I feel like you should probably pay that one, and then it depends on what you man do after. Like, if you go to get drinks, that's when you'd be like, yeah, you're around a certain, like, I don't know, like,
Yeah.
for me, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking like the awkward, because I don't do many restaurant dates, but I feel like that awkwardness of like if I go on a date, I just want to have a good time and talk to you. That
Yeah.
awkwardness of like we splitting this bill could be. I don't have the time
God,
for that. Like,
no.
like,
I
I
just
don't
take
want
out
to,
my
like,
card.
because the drinks are flowing. I'm like, oh, we get started. Oh, you getting dessert? Cool. Like, and then I don't want to be sat there going, well, actually,
Oh Lord,
if
no.
I
Put my spectacles on real quick.
if I check this, you got the steak. Yeah, no, that I was 23. Oh, okay. So then I only got the fish that was £10. So if I pay 15, but you pay that 45, like, I just feel weird.
Yeah,
So I just
no,
not really
that
pay
ain't
that.
it.
But like, I think if you're gonna be that type of person, and you're dating and you're taking people and you're taking them out, and you're taking them to a restaurant that you choose. I think you kind of have to be prepared to pay that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
or at least have that conversation before. Like, I don't like, that's gonna be one of them where like you're like, okay, I had the first one. Like, if we're going on the second one, you got that, but you have to make that early and like part of the asking, because you can't be like, oh well.
I just expect it at the time. Cause I'm not gonna lie. Because fun fact, yesterday I went on a date and we actually went to a restaurant. I paid for it. It was a second date. But number one, because the first time I went to go see her,
Okay.
traveled down to go see her. She paid for like the mini golf and the activities we did there. Like, it was already pre-paid. All I did was turn up and have a good time, and it was great. So obviously, second time round, she came. Obviously, no, like, again, in a restaurant. Number one, the server, right? Like, when I asked for, like, obviously we're getting ready to leave, and I was like, yeah, can we just get the bill, please? She didn't even present the card machine to the girl. She just put it in front of me. Don't get me wrong. I was always going to pay. I don't give a fuck. I was always going to pay. But she just put it right in front of me.
I'm gonna tell you, man, right now, there is nothing more attractive to me in the world than when a woman, like, they come over to the restaurant and they always do it. They always put the bill in front of the man. There's nothing more attractive than when I see a girl pull out a card and be like, no, I'm paying. I'm like, oh.
Listen. Don't get me wrong. If she did that, if she did not do that yesterday, but like, if she did do that, then I would have been like, you're a G still. Don't get me wrong. No. I would have still been like, no, I'm gonna pay. But I would have still been like, you're a G still.
No. The thing is, like,
it's just the thought. It's that little gesture. If you make it, don't get me wrong. Some men will 100% take advantage of that and be like, okay, cool, you pay. But but me, it depends.
It's more sometimes like I've been on dates where, like, let's say it's like the second or third or fourth, whatever, and it's like, I pay for those, and she's like, no, this time I've got it, and I'm like, if you want to have it, then you got it, and that's on you. You're like, you want to pay? Like, cool.
Listen,
I'm getting dessert in it, just let you know, because you got like 2 wines. So and then I'm always joking. So when she does that, she's like, I'm paid, and the guy, they're like, oh, I'm like, I'm paid for, man.
Oh my god, man.
You know what it is, and then I remember, but I don't know, like, it shouldn't be. I think it's one of them things where, like, the dating standards that you used to have changed. So now, like, there are some guys who are like, I'm not paying for 2 or 3 dates, and then in 3 dates when I've paid like 25, 30 quid per time, it just ends because it's expensive.
Yeah.
So
I feel like obviously it depends on the type of people you're dating. You date who you're gonna date. You like who you like, but I just see know your audience, bro. Like, if obviously I feel like on date 1 you'll be able to suss out who that kind of person is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go on date 1 and they have 100% expectations for you to do everything, then you know what you're dealing with. I know it might change on day 2, therefore that's why you give them a second chance. But if you don't go, you don't be like, I've been dating this person, we've been on 8 dates and I paid for them all, because like, you just know at that point the person you're dealing with. Yeah, if you're still doing that by then, you're not.
I think date 2-ish is like a testing ground. Like, if I'm still trying to, like, like, as guys, you normally try to, win the girl over, show her, you got this, show her a good time, have, last, like, I think, second, like, if you pay for the first 2, then maybe on the third one you can be like, yo, now, what's your bank balance saying? Like,
I was gonna say, I feel like it should go without saying. Like, it should be 100%. offered. You shouldn't have to ask by the third, bro. It should be reciprocated both ways.
What should happen? In an ideal world, what happens is date 1, you pay.
Yeah, 100%.
Date 2, the check comes and she goes, "Oh, I'll pay. I don't mind." And you're like, "Babes, don't worry, I got this." You get the next one, yeah, and then you pay, and then if you get to a third one, by the time I shouldn't even bring my wallet with me.
Don't even. You know, I've deleted Apple Pay off my phone. I don't want to hear about it. I forgot my wallet and my Apple Pay is gone.
Yeah, by day 3, I should just be leaving my wallet at home going.
All right. Well, I feel like that closes that. That actually literally closes the podcast off on a good note. This one will be just over an hour long. But you know what? It's been a good vibe. Nas joined in, replaced Chris for this week. The return of Chris, I don't know when that will be. I'm going to preface that right now. So if you never see Chris again...
You'll always have one of us on this podcast. We just don't know.
Listen, you're guaranteed to have myself and Davian, okay?
Now, next week it'll be T by himself.
You're goddamn... I don't know. I think I could do that, low-key, but you're going to be fucking here with me.
Nah, just keep my phone up on the screen, and then...
Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Hope you have a good day, night, etc., whatever.
I don't.
Don't make any bad decisions. I might edit that out. I might leave it in. Guess we'll see. But yeah, we're done for today. Peace.
Deuces.